There comes a moment in your life when you finally see the truth clearly. You are not losing because you lack strength. You are losing because you think too much and speak too much. Overthinking destroys your power. Overspeaking exposes your plans. Every unnecessary thought makes you hesitate. Every unnecessary word leaks your energy, and without realizing it, you give the world the power to control your emotions, your decisions, and your direction. But the people who rise quietly, the ones who grow fast, move smart, and win big, all share one hidden advantage. They think less and speak less. They conserve their energy. They protect their plans. They move in silence, and they let their actions make the noise. If you're tired of being stuck, tired of being distracted, tired of being defeated by your own mind, then stay with this video. Because today you will learn 7 powerful lessons that will show you how to simplify your mind, strengthen your discipline, and finally start winning big in life. Let's begin. 1. Overthinking is the real enemy. Clarity lives in simplicity. Overthinking is one of the most silent but powerful destroyers of progress. It doesn't attack you from the outside. It attacks you from inside your own mind. It fills your head with doubts, fears, and endless what-if scenarios. It makes you imagine dangers that don't exist and problems that were never real. And the worst part is, the more you think, the worse it becomes. Overthinking traps you in a loop where every thought creates another thought, which creates another question, which creates another fear. Eventually, instead of moving forward, you freeze. You stand still, even when the path is open, simply because your mind has convinced you that something is wrong. The truth is simple. Overthinking does not give you clarity. It takes clarity away from you. When your mind is full of noise, you cannot see solutions clearly. You cannot judge situations correctly. You cannot listen to your instincts because they get buried under layers of unnecessary thoughts. People often believe that thinking more will help them make better decisions, but in reality, thinking too much does the opposite. It creates confusion instead of direction. It creates hesitation instead of confidence. Real clarity comes from a calm mind, not a busy one. It comes when you remove the extra thoughts and focus only on what truly matters. When your mind becomes quiet, everything becomes easier. Decisions feel simpler, problems feel smaller, actions feel lighter. This is why simplicity is such a powerful form of strength. When your mind is simple, your life becomes simple, and a simple life moves faster, grows faster, and wins faster. When you stop imagining everything that could go wrong, you finally begin to see everything that could go right. When you stop trying to control every detail, you give yourself the freedom to act. When you stop analyzing the future endlessly, you begin shaping your future through action. A clear mind does not waste energy worrying. It uses energy to move forward. Overthinking is a trap that slows your life down. Simplicity is the key that sets you free. When you train your mind to think less and stay focused only on what is important, you unlock a level of clarity, peace, and speed that most people never experience. And in the real world, speed matters, action matters, direction matters. A clear mind moves fast, and in life, the one who moves fastest often wins. 2. Silence is strength. Talking less protects your power. Silence is one of the most misunderstood strengths in life. Most people believe that speaking more makes them smarter, more confident, or more respected, but the truth is the exact opposite. The more you speak, the more you expose yourself, your plans, your fears, your weaknesses, your emotions, and your direction. Every unnecessary word is a doorway that gives people access to your inner world. And once people enter your inner world, they can influence your mind, your feelings, and even your decisions without you realizing it. Talking too much weakens your energy. Every time you explain your goals, you drain a little bit of the motivation behind them. Every time you share your struggles with the wrong person, you give them the power to judge you, compare you, or manipulate you. Every time you reveal your plans, you invite opinions and interference that can distract you or stop you. Silence protects you from all of this. It keeps your energy contained, your direction private, and your mind free from outside influence. When you speak less, you stay in control of your own life. Silence also has a psychological power. When you talk less, people start paying more attention to you. Your words carry more weight because you don't waste them. People listen more carefully because they know you don't speak without purpose. Silence makes you appear calm, confident, and in control, even if you are still figuring things out. It creates an aura of mystery that naturally earns respect. People cannot predict your next move, and that unpredictability gives you a strategic advantage in every situation. Another reason silence is powerful is because it protects your emotional stability. When you speak less, you react less. You avoid arguments, drama, and unnecessary conversations that pull you into negativity. You save your mental energy for the things that actually matter. Instead of being influenced by other people's opinions or emotions, you stay grounded in your own thoughts. Silence helps you avoid getting dragged into conflicts that don't deserve your attention. It keeps you calm in situations where others lose control. Silence also makes you a better observer. When you speak less, you listen more. You begin to notice things most people miss. The tone of someone's voice, their body language, their intentions, their patterns, their habits, their hidden motives. People reveal who they truly are when they speak. But you can only see that clearly when you are not busy talking yourself. Silence sharpens your awareness, and awareness is one of the strongest forms of intelligence. It allows you to understand situations faster, sense danger earlier, and make smarter decisions. Talking less does not mean you are weak. It means you are wise. It means you understand that your words have power and you use them carefully. It means you value your peace more than unnecessary conversations. It means you choose your battles instead of reacting to everything. It means you protect your goals until they are strong enough to stand on their own. The most powerful people in the world are not loud. They are quiet. They move silently, work privately, and reveal only what is necessary. They don't advertise their struggles or announce their plans to the world. They let their results speak for them. When you learn to speak less, you conserve your energy, protect your direction, and build a presence that is stronger than any words could ever be. Silence is not emptiness. It is protection, power, and wisdom. And when you master silence, you become someone who cannot be easily read, controlled, or manipulated. You become someone who moves with intention, someone who leads with clarity, someone who becomes stronger simply by choosing not to speak. 3. Your mind is a tool, not your master. One of the biggest reasons people suffer in life is because they never learn how to control their own mind. They allow their thoughts to run freely, without discipline, without direction, without limits. The mind becomes a storm, constantly spinning with fears, assumptions, insecurities, memories, doubts, and imaginary scenarios that never end. And slowly, without noticing, the mind takes control of everything. Your emotions, your actions, your decisions, your relationships, your confidence, and your entire life. But the truth is simple and powerful. Your mind was never meant to be your master. It was designed to be your tool, a tool that you use when needed, not something that controls you every second of the day. The mind becomes dangerous when it is left untrained. An undisciplined mind exaggerates everything. A small problem becomes a disaster. A simple conversation becomes a threat. A small delay becomes a failure. The mind begins to create stories that are not real, but they feel real because you allow them to stay. An uncontrolled mind is like a wild horse. It runs in every direction, drags you through emotional chaos, and leaves you exhausted for no reason. And the worst part is that most people don't even realize they are trapped inside their own thoughts. They think the mind is who they are, but it's not. The mind is just a tool, and you are supposed to be the one holding it. When you learn to control your mind, life becomes dramatically easier. You stop reacting to every emotion the moment it appears. You stop assuming the worst before it even happens. You stop letting fear make decisions for you. You learn to pause, breathe, and observe your thoughts instead of immediately believing them. A disciplined mind gives you space between feeling something and acting on it, and that space is where your power lives. That space is where maturity grows. That space is where wise decisions are made. A strong mind is not a mind that thinks constantly. It is a mind that knows when to think and when to stay silent. The real power of the mind is not in overactivity, it is in precision. A disciplined mind can focus on one problem at a time. It can ignore distractions. It can silence emotional noise. It can choose logic over panic, clarity over fear, and action over hesitation. When your mind becomes your servant instead of your master, no situation can overwhelm you. You stop drowning in your thoughts and start directing them with purpose. Another important truth is this: you do not need to believe every thought that enters your mind. Not every thought is true. Not every thought is important. Not every thought deserves your attention. Most thoughts are simply habits, repeated patterns that your mind has learned over years of fear, insecurity, or negative experiences. When you stop automatically believing your thoughts, you break those patterns. You start to see reality more clearly. You start to separate what is true from what is imagined. And once you make this shift, your mind becomes lighter, calmer, and much easier to manage. Your mind should work for you, not against you. It should help you solve problems, not create them. It should help you move forward, not hold you back. It should help you stay focused, not drown you in distractions. The more you train your mind to obey you, the stronger you become. You gain emotional balance. You gain mental stability. You gain the ability to act with calmness, even in situations that used to scare you. People who control their thoughts control their life, because no external force can shake a person who is internally steady. The greatest victory you will ever achieve is the victory over your own mind. When the mind becomes quiet, you become powerful. When the mind becomes disciplined, you become unstoppable. And when the mind becomes your tool, you finally become the master of your life. 4. Action beats analysis. Movement creates confidence. One of the biggest traps in life is the belief that you must figure everything out before you take your first step. People convince themselves that they need the perfect plan, the perfect timing, the perfect level of confidence, or the perfect circumstances before they can begin. But this mindset destroys more dreams than any external obstacle ever will. Because while you are waiting for perfect conditions, life is moving forward without you. Opportunities pass, chances disappear, time slips away, and while you sit and think, someone else moves. And the one who moves always wins. Overthinking gives you the illusion of safety. It makes you feel like planning a little longer will protect you from failure. But in reality, the longer you think, the more fear grows. The more fear grows, the harder movement becomes. The mind starts to amplify every possible problem, every possible risk, every possible reason to stay still, and before you know it, days become weeks, weeks become months, and months become years, all wasted in analysis that never produced action. The truth is simple: action builds confidence, thinking does not. You cannot think your way into courage. You cannot imagine your way into a new life. You cannot plan your way into success. Confidence is built through movement. Every time you take a step forward, even a small one, you feel stronger. Every time you face uncertainty and still act, you grow. Every time you try, even if you fail, your belief in yourself increases because you now have proof that you are capable of moving even when things are not perfect. Action gives you feedback that thinking never can. Thinking keeps you in imagination. Action puts you in reality. Thinking shows you theories. Action shows you truth. Thinking creates assumptions. Action reveals facts. Without action, your mind keeps repeating old fears. But the moment you move, the mind is forced to update itself. When you act, you learn what works and what doesn't. You discover hidden opportunities. You see real progress. You feel real momentum. Your world changes because you changed your direction. One of the most important things to understand is that movement creates clarity, not the other way around. People wait for clarity before they move, but clarity only appears after you move. Action wipes away confusion. Action breaks mental fog. Action shows you the path that thinking alone will never reveal. Most of the answers you're waiting for will only show up after you start walking. Life does not reward people who stand at the starting line and think. It rewards people who run. Another powerful truth is that mistakes are not the enemy. Inaction is. A mistake teaches you, strengthens you, humbles you, and guides you. Every mistake is a step toward mastery. But inaction teaches you nothing. Inaction keeps you weak. Inaction keeps you stuck. People fear failure, but the real failure is never starting. You can fix a mistake. You can learn from a wrong move. You can adjust your direction. But you cannot fix a life that never began. You cannot grow from steps you never took. Action also builds discipline. When you choose movement over hesitation, you train your mind to trust you. You show yourself that you don't need perfect conditions to begin. This inner trust becomes one of the strongest forces in your life. It helps you take bigger risks, chase bigger goals, and overcome bigger challenges. Strong people are not fearless. They simply act even when fear is present. They move first. They think while moving. They learn on the way, and this habit separates winners from the rest of the world. Movement also breaks emotional paralysis. When you feel stuck, anxious, or overwhelmed, taking one small action, even something simple, begins to shift your mental state. Your brain generates new energy. Your body wakes up. Your emotions stabilize. You begin to feel capable again. A small step has the power to change your entire mood because movement signals to your mind that you are not helpless. You are in control. People who succeed in life do not wait for motivation. They create motivation through action. They do not wait for confidence. They build confidence through repetition. They do not wait for clarity. They gain clarity through doing. They do not wait for the perfect moment. They make the moment perfect by showing up. And here is the final truth. Life changes when you move, not when you think. Your next level is not found in your thoughts. It is found in your steps. If you want to transform your life, you must stop waiting, stop hesitating, and stop trying to perfect every detail. Take the first step, even a small one, even a shaky one, even an imperfect one. Because once you start moving, the world opens up in ways you cannot imagine. Action creates momentum. Momentum creates results. And results create the life you have been dreaming about. Movement is power, and the more you move, the more life moves with you. 5. Quiet people see more. Silence makes you aware and intelligent. Silence is not just the absence of noise, it is a state of heightened awareness, a mental environment where your senses become sharper, your perception becomes deeper, and your understanding of people and life becomes clearer than ever before. Most people talk so much that they never truly observe anything. They speak before they analyze, react before they understand, and express before they think. But the moment you step into silence, you enter a completely different world, a world where details become visible, patterns become obvious, and truths that were previously hidden start revealing themselves to you. Quiet people are not quiet because they are weak. They are quiet because they are processing, analyzing, absorbing, and understanding far more than they could ever express with words. They see beneath the surface of actions. They notice the tone, the body language, the hesitation, the energy, the intention, and the small signs that others ignore. Silence sharpens perception in a way that talking never can. When you are silent, you hear more, you see more, you feel more, and you understand more. When you speak less, you remove the noise that normally blocks your awareness. Your mind becomes open instead of defensive, curious instead of reactive, observant instead of emotional. You start noticing the truth behind people's words, whether they are honest, insecure, manipulative, jealous, supportive, or pretending. Most people reveal who they are without realizing it, but you can only see it when you aren't busy talking yourself. Silence turns you into a listener, and listening is one of the most powerful forms of intelligence. Quiet people can walk into a room and instantly sense the atmosphere. They can tell who is confident and who is pretending, who is genuine and who is fake, who carries positive energy and who drains it, who respects them and who feels threatened by them. They pick up emotional signals, subtle movements, unspoken tension, and hidden motivations that loud people are blind to. This awareness is not magic. It is the natural gift of silence. Silence also protects your emotions. When you do not rush to speak, you do not rush to react. You give yourself time to observe before responding. Most conflict in life happens because people speak too quickly without understanding the intention behind a situation. But silence creates a gap, a space where your mind can think, your emotions can settle, and your logic can activate. In that space, you gain clarity that prevents impulsive mistakes. You begin to choose your responses instead of being controlled by reactions. This is emotional intelligence at its highest level. Another overlooked power of silence is that it makes you unpredictable. When you are quiet, people cannot read your thoughts. They cannot guess your plans. They cannot manipulate your emotions. They cannot figure out your weaknesses. They cannot shape your decisions through pressure or influence. Silence keeps your power inside you instead of scattered through constant talking. And when people cannot predict you, they cannot control you. Quiet people also form deeper connections, not by talking, but by understanding. When you listen, people feel seen, heard, and respected. You learn their fears, their dreams, their stories, their insecurities, and their true selves. Talking creates distance. Listening builds connection. People trust those who listen more than those who talk endlessly, and trust gives you influence, whether you seek it or not. Silence also gives you the ability to think independently. When you stop listening to external noise, you begin to hear your own thoughts clearly. You understand what you truly want, not what society expects. You recognize what matters to you, not what others tell you to chase. Silence removes the influence of outside opinions and allows you to build your identity from within. This inner clarity is one of the most powerful strengths a person can have. It guides your actions, protects your peace, and shapes your future. Quietness also enhances creativity and problem-solving. When your mind is not filled with constant chatter, ideas begin to flow. You see solutions that others overlook. You connect patterns that others ignore. You think deeper, not louder. The greatest thinkers, leaders, and creators in history valued silence because they understood that the mind works best in stillness, not in noise. And perhaps the most important truth is this: silence increases your value. People who talk too much become predictable and lose respect. People who speak only when necessary become impactful and respected. Every word from a quiet person carries weight. People listen more carefully, take them more seriously, and treat their opinions with importance. This happens because silence creates rarity, and rarity creates value. If you speak constantly, your words become ordinary. If you speak selectively, your words become powerful. Silence is a superpower because it transforms you from someone who reacts to someone who understands, from someone who gets distracted to someone who observes, from someone who is controlled by others to someone who stays in control. A quiet mind sees the world with clarity, and clarity is one of the greatest advantages you can ever possess. When you choose silence, you choose awareness. When you choose awareness, you choose intelligence. and when you combine both, you become someone who is impossible to fool, impossible to manipulate, and impossible to stop. 6. Private growth is strong growth. Your progress needs privacy. One of the biggest mistakes people make in life is believing that every step of their journey needs to be shared, shown, explained, or displayed to the world. They think telling others about their goals will make them feel motivated. They think announcing their dreams will make them look serious. They think sharing their struggles will make them feel supported. But the truth is the opposite. The more you share your growth, the slower you grow, the more you expose your plans, the weaker your plans become. And the more people know about your progress, the easier it becomes for their doubt, their jealousy, their negativity, or their interference to enter your life. Growth happens best in silence because silence protects you. Silence gives you a space where no one is judging your decisions, questioning your direction, comparing your pace, or doubting your progress. When your life is private, your mind becomes calmer. You stop thinking about what people will say. You stop worrying about who is watching. You stop performing for an audience that doesn't even care. Instead, you start focusing on the only thing that truly matters, the work itself. And when your focus goes entirely into your growth becomes unstoppable. Private growth removes pressure, and pressure is the silent enemy of progress. When people know your goals, they expect updates. They ask questions. They make comments. They criticize your speed. They judge your failures. They compare your journey to others. And slowly, without noticing, you stop working for yourself and start working to avoid embarrassment. Your motivation becomes polluted by outside expectations. But when your journey is private, no one knows when you fall, when you fail, when you pause, or when you restart. You have room to make mistakes. You have room to learn. You have room to grow at your own pace without feeling ashamed. Privacy protects your energy. Not everyone around you wants to see you succeed. Some people silently envy your progress. Some feel threatened when you start improving. Some pretend to support you, but secretly hope you'll fall. When you imagine them as cheerleaders, you allow them into your mind. Their opinions mix with your self-belief. Their doubt becomes your hesitation. Their jealousy becomes your insecurity. Their negativity becomes your fear. But when your growth is private, none of this can touch you. Your energy stays clean, pure, and powerful, untouched by the emotional pollution of others. Private growth is also powerful because it eliminates noise. When fewer people know your plans, fewer opinions enter your mind. And opinions are dangerous. They distract you. They confuse you. They weaken your confidence. They make you question decisions that were once perfectly clear. But when you stop sharing your goals, you stop receiving unnecessary opinions. Your clarity sharpens. Your discipline strengthens. Your direction solidifies. You know what you want and why you want it. And that is all you need. Another reason private growth is strong growth is because it allows your identity to rebuild silently from the inside. When you grow privately, you don't feel pressured to act like the new version before you're ready. You don't pretend. You don't rush. You don't perform. You don't try to prove anything. Instead, you evolve naturally, step by step, day by day, in real time. You become the person you want to become, not the person you feel forced to look like in front of others. Private growth creates authenticity because no one else is shaping your transformation. You are shaping yourself. Privacy also strengthens discipline. When no one knows what you're working on, there is no external reward, no applause, no validation, no recognition. The only thing that keeps you going is your own commitment, and that is the strongest form of discipline you can develop, the discipline to keep working even when nobody is clapping, nobody is watching, and nobody is praising. This kind of discipline builds inner toughness, self-belief, and long-term consistency. It makes you self-reliant instead of validation-dependent. People who grow privately eventually shock the world. Their results appear suddenly, as if out of nowhere. Others think, how did this happen so fast? They don't realize that nothing was fast. The work was happening quietly for months or years, away from attention, away from judgment, away from distractions. This is why private growth feels slow while you're living it, but looks fast when others finally see the results. Silence hides the struggle, so success looks effortless. Another strength of private growth is that it protects you from the emotional roller coaster of comparison. When you keep your life public, you start comparing your progress to everyone else's highlight reel. You feel behind, you feel slow, you feel discouraged. But when your journey is private, you stop competing with the world. You compete only with who you were yesterday. You measure your progress based on your own standards, not society's timeline. This reduces anxiety, boosts confidence, and brings peace to your mind. Privacy also gives your dreams time to become real. Every dream starts weak, like a seed. If you expose a seed too early, it gets stepped on. If you expose an idea too early, it gets criticized. If you expose a dream too early, it gets destroyed by doubt. But when you protect that seed, when you water it quietly, it becomes strong enough to survive anything. Private growth is that protection. It gives your dreams time to grow roots before you show the world the tree. And finally, private growth makes you unpredictable, and unpredictability is powerful. When people can't read your next move, they can't stop it. When they don't know your goals, they can't block them. When they don't know your progress, they can't sabotage it. Privacy is a shield that keeps your life safe from outside influence. Your growth becomes stronger when it is protected. Your journey becomes smoother when it is quiet. Your transformation becomes real when it is private. When you stop announcing and start working, the world won't hear your plans. It will only see your results. 7. Win in your mind. First, peace makes you unshakable. Before you can win in the world, you must win in the one place that controls everything, your mind. Every decision you make, every emotion you feel, every reaction you give, every step you take, every relationship you choose, every opportunity you accept or reject, all of it begins inside your mind. If your inner world is chaotic, your outer world will fall apart. If your inner world is calm, your outer world becomes effortless. Peace is not just a feeling. It is a foundation. A person who has inner peace becomes someone life cannot shake, pressure cannot break, and people cannot control. Most people lose their battles long before the battle even begins. They lose in their mind. Their thoughts overpower their logic. Their fears overpower their dreams. Their memories overpower their confidence. Their emotions overpower their focus. And slowly, they stop living. They start reacting. They react to comments, to criticism, to rejection, to stress, to failures, to opinions, to expectations. They become so emotionally fragile that even the smallest inconvenience can ruin their entire day. This happens not because life is hard, but because the mind is untrained. Winning in your mind means building the ability to stay centered even when everything around you is pulling you toward chaos. It means understanding that peace is not something that happens to you. Peace is something you consciously create. It means learning how to regulate your emotions instead of letting your emotions regulate you. It means choosing how you respond instead of letting your reactions choose for you. This inner stability is what separates the strong from the weak, the focused from the distracted, and the grounded from the easily shaken. One of the first steps to winning in your mind is understanding that not every thought deserves your attention. Your mind produces thousands of thoughts a day, and the majority of them are based on fear, memory, instinct, or old emotional patterns. If you believe every thought, you become a prisoner of your mind. But when you learn to observe your thoughts instead of absorbing them, something powerful happens. You see that thoughts are just thoughts. They are not commands. They are not reality. They are not facts. They are simply mental noise passing through your awareness. When you stop treating every thought as truth, you instantly gain control over your mind. Winning in your mind also means mastering your emotional triggers. Anyone can stay calm when life is easy. The real strength is staying calm when everything is going wrong. When someone insults you, do you explode or stay composed? When life disappoints you, do you collapse or stay balanced? When things don't go your way, do you panic or stay patient? Your reaction in these moments reveals how strong or weak your inner world truly is. A peaceful mind does not crumble under pressure. It becomes sharper. A peaceful mind does not get trapped in emotional storms. It becomes the eye of the storm, still, centered, and unshakable. Another part of mental victory is learning to let go. People hold on to things that destroy their peace. Old anger, old heartbreaks, old failures, old grudges, old insecurities. They replay past pains so many times that it becomes part of their identity. But you cannot win in life if you are still fighting battles inside your mind that ended years ago. To win internally, you must create mental space. You must release things that no longer matter so that your mind can focus on what truly does. Peace comes when you stop giving energy to things that steal your strength. Winning in your mind also requires protecting your mental environment. The people you surround yourself with, the content you consume, the habits you follow, the conversations you engage in, all of these shape your mental world. Negative people break your peace. Gossip breaks your focus. Stressful environments drain your strength. Unhealthy habits weaken your willpower. If you want inner peace, you must create a life that supports it. Peace is a discipline, not an accident. A peaceful mind is a magnet for clarity. When your thoughts are calm, solutions appear easily. When your emotions are balanced, decisions feel simple. When your inner world is quiet, your intuition becomes louder. You begin to sense what is right for you and what is wrong. You stop rushing, you stop forcing, you stop chasing things that were never meant for you. You move with intention instead of desperation. This clarity gives you a kind of confidence that noise never can, because it comes from inner certainty, not from external validation. The greatest advantage of winning in your mind is that you become emotionally bulletproof. Insults don't shake you because your self-worth doesn't come from others. Expectations don't control you because you know your own direction. Failures don't destroy you because you see them as part of growth. Disappointments don't break you because you understand that life is still moving in your favor. Negative people can't affect you because your peace does not depend on their behavior. When your inner world stands strong, no outer force, no matter how heavy, can break you. A peaceful mind is not an empty mind. It is a powerful mind. It is a mind that knows when to stay calm, when to act, when to speak, and when to stay silent. It is a mind that has mastered itself. And self-mastery is the highest form of strength a person can ever reach. Winning in your mind is not a luxury, it is a necessity. Without inner victory, outer victory collapses. Without inner strength, outer success feels empty. Without inner peace, outer achievements feel stressful instead of joyful. Your mind is your battlefield, your peace is your armor, your clarity is your weapon, and your calmness is your victory. When you win inside yourself, the world cannot defeat you, because no matter what happens outside, you remain grounded, focused, stable, strong, and unshakable. 8. The less you react, the more you control. Emotional discipline is your real power. There is one truth most people never understand until life breaks them. It is not the world that defeats you. It is your reactions. Every argument you enter, every insult you take personally, every emotional trigger you fall for, every moment of anger where you lose control, every situation where you respond instantly without thinking. These reactions slowly drain your power. They turn you into someone who is easily manipulated, easily provoked, and easily thrown off balance. And a person who can be emotionally controlled will always lose in life, no matter how talented, intelligent, or capable they are. The strongest people in the world are not loud, they are not explosive, they are not reactive, they are composed, they are patient, they are strategic. They know how to stay centered while everyone else is losing themselves. Their calmness is not weakness, it is mastery. It is the highest level of intelligence because it means they have learned how to stop their emotions from hijacking their decisions. They understand that reacting emotionally gives power to others, but responding with control gives power back to themselves. Most people think emotional reactions happen to them. They think anger, jealousy, irritation, insecurity, and frustration are things they cannot control. But the truth is that emotional reactions become automatic only when your mind is untrained. When you haven't practiced discipline, when you haven't created distance between thought and action, when you haven't learned to slow yourself down, you become a slave to your emotions. Someone says something small, you explode. Someone behaves differently, you panic. Someone rejects you, you break, someone triggers you, you lose yourself. Your peace becomes fragile, and fragile peace is no peace at all. Emotional discipline means learning how to pause, how to breathe, how to hold your reaction instead of releasing it instantly. That pause, that small moment of silence, is where your power lives, because in that moment, you choose whether you want to give control to the world or keep it for yourself. When you react instantly, your emotions lead you. When you respond intelligently, your mind leads you. This difference determines whether your life becomes chaotic or peaceful, weak or strong, reactive or strategic. The less you react, the more you understand. When you stop responding to everything around you, your perception becomes sharper. You start to notice patterns. You start to see people for who they truly are. You start to understand what deserves your energy and what doesn't. You see who is trying to provoke you, who is trying to drain you, who is trying to trigger you on purpose, and who is simply acting from their own pain. Emotional discipline gives you the ability to decode behavior without becoming entangled in it. This is why calm people are always more intelligent, because while others are busy reacting, calm people are busy observing. A person with emotional discipline becomes unpredictable, and unpredictability is a powerful form of strength. When people can't tell what triggers you, they can't control you. When they don't know how to shake you, they stop trying. When they realize their words don't affect you, their games become powerless. You become untouchable, not because life stopped throwing challenges at you, but because you stopped giving those challenges access to your inner peace. Emotional discipline also protects you from unnecessary battles. Most people waste their life fighting every insult, every disagreement, every misunderstanding, every opinion, and every criticism. They burn energy proving themselves to people who don't matter, arguing with people who will never understand, defending themselves against people who already decided to judge. But when you choose emotional discipline, you choose peace over ego. You choose silence over argument. You choose stability over chaos. You choose to walk away from fights that destroy your focus and drain your life force. This doesn't make you weak, it makes you wise. Another reason emotional discipline is powerful is because it strengthens your self-respect. When you control your reactions, you don't allow anyone to drag you down to their level. You don't let anger turn you into someone you are not. You don't let anxiety distort your decisions. You don't let fear silence your voice. You don't let frustration dictate your behavior. You don't let someone else's lack of discipline pull you out of your character. You respond from a place of strength, not weakness. This sort of discipline also creates long-term success. People who react emotionally ruin opportunities, damage relationships, make impulsive decisions, and destroy their long-term goals with short-term anger. But people who respond calmly build trust, create stability, and make intelligent choices even under pressure. Emotional discipline gives you consistency, and consistency builds a life that cannot collapse easily. Emotional control also affects your mindset. When you stop reacting to everything, your mind becomes quieter. You stop replaying conversations. You stop overanalyzing situations. You stop worrying about what people think. You stop imagining worst-case scenarios. Your thoughts settle, your emotions settle. Your inner space becomes calm and grounded, and from that space, you make the best decisions of your life. The person who can remain calm while the world is loud becomes the most powerful person in the room. Not because they speak the loudest, but because their silence carries weight, their presence carries strength, their energy carries authority. Emotional discipline builds a presence that demands respect without ever asking for it. And the ultimate truth is this: if the world can control your reactions, the world controls your life. If you control your reactions, you control your life. Becoming unreactive doesn't mean you don't feel. It means you don't allow feelings to control your actions. It means choosing clarity over chaos, logic over fear, patience over anger, silence over drama, and inner power over external noise. The less you react, the more you rise above everything that once held you back. You become someone who moves with intention, chooses with wisdom, responds with stability, and lives with an inner strength that cannot be shaken by anyone or anything. Emotional discipline is the final step toward becoming untouchable, because once you master your reactions, nothing in the world can break you again. If you look closely at your life, you will realize something important. The moments you grew the most were never the loud ones. They were the quiet ones. The moments when you finally stopped overthinking, when you stopped explaining yourself, when you stopped reacting to everything, when you stopped announcing your dreams, when you stopped chasing validation, when you stopped feeding your fears, when you stopped talking and finally started doing. This is the real truth of life. Most people stay stuck not because they lack potential, but because their mind is noisy, their tongue is restless, and their energy is scattered. But the moment you begin to think less, speak less, and react less, your entire reality shifts. When you think less, your mind becomes clear. When you speak less, your power stays inside you. When you react less, your peace becomes stronger. When you grow privately, your results speak louder than any words ever could. When you stop feeding the world your emotions, you stop giving the world the ability to control you. This is how real winners are made. Not in noise, not in chaos, not in drama, not in overthinking, not in constant talking, but in silence, clarity, discipline, and inner strength. The world notices loud people, but life rewards quiet ones. You are not meant to live in the prison of your thoughts. You are not meant to waste your energy proving yourself to people who don't care. You are not meant to react to everything that tries to break you. You are not meant to announce every step of your journey. You are meant to build in silence and win loudly. You elevate the moment you decide to stop being controlled by fear, by opinions, by noise, and by your own mind. You elevate the moment you choose clarity over confusion. You elevate the moment you choose privacy over attention. You elevate the moment you choose discipline over emotion. You elevate the moment you choose action over overthinking. You elevate the moment you choose silence over unnecessary speech. And from that moment onward, life becomes different. Your steps become sharper. Your decisions become cleaner. Your presence becomes heavier, your energy becomes untouchable, your path becomes straighter, your mind becomes stronger, your peace becomes unbreakable. This is the version of yourself you were meant to become. A version that no longer needs noise to feel powerful. A version that no longer needs words to feel understood. A version that no longer needs approval to feel enough. A version that no longer needs to think endlessly to move forward. A version that no longer reacts to everything because you finally know what deserves your energy and what doesn't. Winning in life is not about being louder, smarter, faster, or more aggressive. It is about being calm, clear, focused, private, and in control of yourself. It is about mastering the inner world so powerfully that nothing in the outer world can shake you again. And now you know the truth. When you think less, speak less, and react less, you begin to win more than you ever imagined. Not loudly, not desperately, not emotionally, but quietly, naturally, consistently, and powerfully. The world will wonder how you changed so fast. They will not understand it. They will not expect it. They will not be prepared for it, because they did not see the quiet transformation happening inside you. But that doesn't matter. Your job is not to explain your growth. Your job is to grow. Your job is not to announce your power. Your job is to become powerful. Your job is not to tell them who you are becoming. Your job is to become it. So move forward from this moment with one truth in your heart. The quieter you become, the stronger you become. And the stronger you become, the more the world bends in your favor. This is your new life. This is your new identity. This is your new power. Think less, speak less, react less, and watch yourself rise higher than ever before, silently, steadily, and undeniably.